Hey, do you know that puff puff is not just puff puff in Nigeria? Other countries also make this yummy recipe called puff puff, but they are called differently. In India, it is called gulam jamun. In Congo, they call it mikete. In Liberia, it is called kala. In Somalia, they call it bosalud. In Trinidad, it is called folori. And in Turkey, it's called lukba. I hope I got these pronunciations right. If I didn't, please pardon me. Let's know our ingredients. In Nigeria, we usually use flour, yeast, sugar, salt, and vegetable oil for frying. Adding butter is optional. Let's find out how we make our puff puff in Nigeria. Because we do not like wahala in Nigeria, we do not stress ourselves. We just go on to add all our ingredients together without adding too much. Mostly our flour, sugar, and yeast, and that is all. Then we add in our water. Make sure our batter is this thick and stretchy. We cover it and allow it to proof for 45 minutes to 1 hour. Unlike other countries of the world, like the ones I mentioned earlier, some of them go on to add things like turmeric and other spices to give whatever name they call their puff puff a unique taste. Once our own is proofed, we go on now to fry it on fairly hot oil, and that is how we make our puff puff in Nigeria. Let's find out more about puff puff. Let's take note of the tips and tricks. Tip number 1, don't add too much yeast to your puff puff recipe. Now, there are two kinds of yeast. You have your instant yeast and your active dry yeast. Your instant yeast, you go on to add it directly to your flour. But your active dry yeast, you may need warm water or milk, add sugar to it, then add in your yeast. Then allow it to sit for it to proof or foam. And after which you add it to your flour. Why I like the active dry yeast is that if your yeast is bad, you would know, because if it doesn't foam up, you can discard. But your instant yeast, you won't really know. One tip I will give you about your yeast is that your instant yeast, make sure it is not expired and make sure there are no leaks in the pack after getting it from the store. That will save you unnecessary wahala. Now, this is your active dry. If it doesn't look like this, foam up after 10 minutes, my dear, discard, because if you add it to your flour, you're going to be in serious trouble. Using the right quantity of yeast will make your batter look like this, thick and stretchy. Too much of yeast will not give you a good puff puff. It will make your batter too light and make it comes out flat like akara, and not a good akara, that or a terrible akara. So take note of that. Tip number 2. Don't add too much sugar to your puff puff recipe. I know they told you puff puff needs sugar because yeast needs sugar to proof, or yeast used to eat sugar, Abi. I know, but the accurate amount of sugar is what you need, not too much. Some of you will complain, why is my puff puff black? It is because you added too much sugar. Adding too much sugar to your puff puff recipe will not give it a vibrant color like this. It will look appealing. It will look a bit dark or black. It may taste sweet, but it will not look attractive like what you can see here. After this video, you're going to watch another video that gives you detailed ingredients and measurements for your various quantity of puff puff recipe using various quantity of flour, and that will save you, showing you the right amount of sugar to add to your various puff puff recipes. Tip number 3, do not add too much water to your batter. In fact, so many persons, this is where they get making their puff puff wrong. They really do not know how much water is too much water. What I will advise is add water in bits to your flour until you can get a thick batter like this. The thicker the better, because when your puff puff proofs rise or increase in size, it's going to become lighter. So you just want your batter to be thick, not too light and not too thick, because you're not making negro, you're making puff puff. Anyway, with practice you will get used to it, because after proving, this is how your batter becomes. It becomes light. So if it is this light before proofing, my dear, after proofing, in short, cutting your batter into the oil, you will just begin to struggle, and that would be nice. I would have loved to give you the various quantities of water you need for your various quantity of puff puff recipe, but because we use different kind of flour, that would be impossible. Don't worry, with practice, you will get the right amount of water right. Tip number 4, it is not a must to add butter, milk, eggs, and vegetable oil to your puff puff recipe. Some persons go on now to add milk, to add egg, to add powdered milk or liquid milk or whatever to their puff puff recipe, I want to tell you that it is not enough. And that is why some of you, your puff puff does not stretch. And you come and ask me, why is my puff puff not stretching? This is one of the reasons you're adding too much to your puff puff. See, puff puff is a very easy recipe, and sometimes you do not need to do too much. I've added butter, I've added vegetable oil, and I've added egg to my puff puff recipe. But I realized that the less I add to my puff puff recipe, the more stretchy my batter becomes. In fact, especially your vegetable oil and your butter, the little the better. You can skip vegetable oil and butter altogether. In short, the usual puff puff we grew up with, they don't used to add butter. But we of this new generation want to add too much. Adding too much butter or too much unnecessary ingredients prevents your batter from being too stretchy. Number 5, fry on consistently medium heat. Now, puff puff is one Nigerian snack that the right kind of temperature for frying is so important. When cutting your butter into the oil, your oil must be hot. I don't know how the temperature, I would have loved to give you the temperature of the oil you need to fry on, but the kind of temperature you use in frying your regular plantain or your fried yam you use to prepare food at home, or your fried meat, yes, that is the kind of temperature you need for your puff puff, because once you cut your puff puff into the oil, if it's at the right temperature, it will just form a round ball immediately and it will just be accurate and perfect like this. But if the temperature is not at the way it should be, your puff puff will come out absorbing so much oil, and puff puff normally absorbs oil, but when it becomes too much, I don't know, it will no longer be puff puff, it will be puff oil. I don't know. So the normal temperature of the oil is really important. So fry on consistently medium heat. Once your oil is hot, let the heat be on medium and let it be consistent. That is the right kind of temperature you would like to fry your puff puff in. If you want it to be round, if you want it to be perfect, and if you want it to be the kind of puff puff you like. And if it's the first time of you stopping by my channel, you're so welcome. And if you haven't subscribed, I want you to subscribe. I want you to hit on the notification button. I want you to thumbs up this video and tell me what you think about this puff puff masterclass. Now let's go into our ingredients and measurement. Now, if you're making puff puff using 500 grams of flour, which is equivalent to 4 cups of Nigerian flour, you need 50 grams of sugar, 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of yeast, half teaspoon of nutmeg, vegetable oil for frying 1 liter. I give a range for the yeast because if your tablespoon is the smaller one, go for 2 tablespoons. If you're using the big size tablespoon, go for 1.5. Now, if you are in other country, please weigh your flour. Do not use the cups I gave you. Weigh to make sure it is the quantity we are stating here. For 1 kg of flour, you need 100 grams of sugar, 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of yeast, nutmeg 1 teaspoon, vegetable oil for frying 1 liter. If you want to add butter, don't add more than 1 tablespoon of butter or 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. It is actually optional. So that's for that. If you want to make puff puff going for 2 kg of flour, you will need 200 grams of sugar, 4 to 5 tablespoons of yeast, nutmeg 2 teaspoons, and vegetable oil for frying 1.5 liter. For the yeast, there's going to be an issue here. I will advise that you add half tablespoon for every 500 grams that you add to your flour. This will help you adjust your yeast. You do not multiply your yeast, you just add it with wisdom so that it won't be too much. Now let's move on to our business tips. I'm going to tell you how you can focus on just one Nigerian snacks, which is Nigerian puff puff, and I'm going to tell you how you're going to start, market, and make profit from that Nigerian snacks business called the almighty Nigerian puff puff. You know, one thing I like about Nigerian puff puff, it will always sell. Now you've gotten your ingredients and your measurement. The next thing you must do is that get a good location for your business. Business location is one major thing that affects your business, and from experience I will tell you the location that does well for your Nigerian puff puff is a busy junction or a busy environment like a market environment. If you can get a spot in a market environment, oh my God, thank God for you. But I know not everybody will get a spot in a market environment. If you can get a spot in a busy junction that has both foot and car traffic, my sister, you have made it. But make sure it has both foot and car traffic. There are some busy junctions that has mostly car traffic. You hardly find people around those junctions. When I mean the junction is so busy that people don't really walk there, your business won't do well around that junction because cars are moving in full speed and they won't wait. You want a junction whereby people have freedom to move around freely and buy whatever they want to buy. That is the kind of junction you should be looking at or to sell your Nigerian puff puff. After getting your location, Go on now to get your remaining equipment, like your firewood. If you want to use firewood to make, which I wouldn't advise, I advise you use gas, and use this big fry pan that they used to make party rice. You understand? That is a little big deep that used to make party stew, party rice stew. You know, get your big spoon for frying, get your bowl, get your bucket, get whatever you want to use to fry your puff puff. Like, is it a container to display it or a showcase? Get a good t-shirt with your logo on it. Get a face cap, my dear. Brand yourself. That's the next tip. I'm telling you how to brand yourself. All these are very important. In your junction, you should look neat. You should look smart. You should look attractive. And you should smile like the way I'm smiling. My dear, people love people that sell snacks. They are neat and they smile. Now, another tip I'm going to tell you is that use flavors. What did I say? Use flavors. See me dancing. Use flavors. I've had to buy puff puff from guys that are doing well in puff puff business, and they do not add flavors. Their puff puff is a bit bland, and I don't come back to buy from them. I felt that since they've had this opportunity, they can step up their puff puff recipe a bit by adding flavors. Now, there are lots of flavors in the market. I'm going to be listing the ones you can use for your puff puff, and you will come back and thank me. Yes, you will come back and thank me. Number one is your milk flavor. Number two, your nutmeg. Nutmeg is the popular flavor that we use for various Nigerian snacks business. Number three, your butterscotch flavor. And number four, your vanilla flavor. Your vanilla flavor will make your puff puff taste like cake. Your milk flavor will make your puff puff taste like milk. Your butterscotch flavor just give him a unique butter feel. Oh, I don't know how to explain it, but just go and try it. Come back and tell me. All these flavors make your puff puff recipe stand out from the rest. Being that the market is already competitive, your puff puff needs to taste unique, needs to taste appealing for people to pick, for people to keep coming back to buy from you. So I advise that you use flavors. And when you have decided to use whatever flavor you want to use, whether you are combining flavors or you are using a particular flavor, I advise that you keep that flavor a secret. Do not tell anyone. That is your secret, so that it will keep your customers coming back and it will keep you ahead of your competitors. Don't you think so? So that's for that. Another thing you must do after having your flavors, after having your location and your equipment, is to market. What did I say? Market. You have started. You have started. You need to market. Tell people what you sell. Tell them you deliver in bulk. Tell them you make premium puff puff. Tell them if they want 50 pieces, you can give to them. Tell them you don't just sell, you also deliver to their homes and their offices. This is a way to step up your puff puff branding and your recipe. And they will know you're not selling local puff puff. You are selling premium puff puff. Market it on your Facebook page. Market it on Instagram. If you can run Facebook ads, my dear, do it for your business. Sure, you want to make millions. Now, money they say they find money. So, market your business. Share flyers on the day you're going to be starting. Share flyers at work. Share flyers when you go to church. Share flyers everywhere. Tell people about yourself. People may call you and say, okay, can you deliver 50 pieces of puff puff? We want to use it for a particular thing. Can you deliver 40 pieces? Don't just restrict your puff puff to your location alone. You can also deliver to different persons. This is how you make money from your puff puff. And you know what? Puff puff ingredients are so cheap and affordable. And because of the yeast, a little flour goes a very long way. So you can easily make profits from your puff puff. And if you know how to make your puff puff recipe well, it will not absorb so much oil. So my dear, your oil will not finish fast. So you will make good profit from it. So relax. You can sell your puff puff for 3 for 100 naira. You can sell it for 6 for 200 naira. You can sell 10 for 500 naira. My dear, tell them the price. The prices of things have gone up. That one will be your fault now. So sell as you buy, not be so. Now so that's for that. Market your puff puff recipe. And if you have watched to this point and you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. You want me to beg you? Please subscribe, do like and share. Thumbs up this video. Tell me what you think about this recipe. I don't know if there are anybody you know that wants to start puff puff business. Send this video to them as soon as possible. Let them watch. Let them know the right step to take. Let them know the right action to take so that they will make good money selling Nigerian puff puff. Then the final tip is be consistent and have a very wonderful customer service system. When I mean be consistent in the timing of your business. For example, you start at 9 a.m. Let your 9 a.m. be 9 a.m. My dear, don't do African time for your puff puff business. So you don't go work. If it is 12 p.m., you're going to be starting. Let your 12 p.m. be 12 p.m. Don't start 9 a.m. today, tomorrow 10, next tomorrow 11, next tomorrow 12. People will be wondering, is she even serious? When does she really open? As you put your time in your flyer, make sure at that time you are at the spot, at least ready to start or ready to sell. So be consistent with your timing. Be consistent with the taste of your snacks. How do you do that? Make sure you write the quantity of your flour, butter, sugar, yeast for various quantity of your puff-puff recipe. So that today, the puff-puff will not be tasting too salty. Tomorrow, too much sugar. Next tomorrow, too much butter. Really? My brother, my sister. Be serious. Get a book. Write the quantity of ingredients you're going to be using for your various quantity of puff-puff, so that by the time you start making your puff-puff subsequently, you're not going to have issues of putting too much butter, too much sugar, too much salt, because you know the quantity that you need for various quantity of flour. Be consistent with your marketing. Now, when I mean marketing, if it is flyers you want to be sharing every day, every week, every month, please budget it and keep doing it. You are marketing yourself. Somebody may say, supply me 100 pieces of puff-puff, 200 pieces. So this marketing will give you other kind of contracts in your puff-puff business that you wouldn't get if you are just in a particular spot. So be consistent in your marketing. Then finally, be consistent in your customer service system. You are into puff-puff business, people smile. Don't look like those people that sell puff-puff and say, oh my God, I'm so free. I do not have a job. That's why I'm doing this one. Carry yourself with dignity. Smile as you sell. Package yourself. It is a white shirt and a white face cap and a jeans you want to wear. Wear it and look neat and look smart. You are delivering value. You are selling. You are not stealing. You are making money. You are giving value. You are not disturbing anybody. Do it well. Look appealing. Let your puff-puff be in its own category by the way you package yourself. Very important. Look smart. Smile at your customers. And I know that with this, your puff-puff business is going to take a new turn.